Hello everyone, my name is Ankur and welcome to RJPT Simlab simulation. In this video, we will study about the maintenance of laboratory animals as per CCSEA guidelines. First of all, what is CCSEA? CCSEA stands for Committee for the Purpose of Control and Supervision of Experiments on Animals. This is a committee which regulates and controls the supervision and supervises the experiments performed on the animals. The tagline of this committee says that humane care of animals is not just an ethical obligation, it's a scientific necessity. This statement says that the care, extreme care and human-like care of the animals is not just an ethical obligation. It is not an obligation. It is a scientific necessity. It is a very much necessary part to take care of the animals. This presentation explores the fundamental practices for ethical and responsible use of laboratory animals based on CCSEA guidelines, and it ensures animal welfare while maintaining scientific integrity in research. Now let's start with the video. And first of all, we come to the introduction part. For that, the first part is the statutory body. What is statutory body? Statutory body is an organization which is established by a specific act of legislative bodies, such as parliament or like state legislature. And these bodies are not part of the constitution but are created by the law to perform specific functions, often related to regulation, service provision, or public administration. And in the statutory body, these are formed under Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, which was passed in the 1960. Then we have the mandate. What is mandate? Mandate is any power given to this committee to do something, especially for what have they won, which means this it is the power of the CCHEA which regulates animal experimentation for research and testing in India. The goal of the CCSEA is that it ensures humane treatment, minimizes pain, and promotes animal welfare. And the fourth is oversight, which inspects facilities, approves research protocols via IAEC. What is IAEC? IAEC stands for Institutional Animal Ethics Committee. This committee inspects the facilities of the research and the experiments and approves the protocols. Now let's see the principle. The principle is the 3R principle, for which is the guiding ethical research. At first R, we have the replacement, the second R is the reduction, and the third R is the refinement of the foundation, which is the core of the CCSEA guidelines for all animal research. Now let's see the first R, which is the replacement, which says using non-animal methods. This statement says that we have to use and reduce the use of animals. We have to replace the use of animal methods for the experiments that like we can use cell cultures and computer models for the research work. We can replace animals via the computer methods and we can perform our experiment on the computer models. And the second R is the reduction, which is the minimizing animal number without compromising statistical validity. The statement says that we have to minimize the usage of animal numbers and without compromising statistical validity, which is the data of the experiment. The third R is the refinement. Refinement of the improving welfare, reducing pain and distress during procedures. This statement says that we have to improve the welfare and care of the animal and reduce their pain and distress during the procedures. We have to refine the experimental procedures. Now let's see the optimal housing and environmental enrichment. For that, the first is the environment condition. Environmental condition is the very much necessity part of the experiment. We have to maintain a 20 to 24 degrees Celsius temperature and a 30 to 70% humidity, which is an ideal environmental condition to perform any experiments. Second is the ventilation. We have to ensure a 10 to 15 air changes per hour, which means a proper ventilation and a circulation of fresh air should be maintained inside the laboratory. The third is the lighting. A strict 12-hour light and dark cycle for the circadian rhythm. We have to maintain a 12-hour light part and a 12-hour of the dark for the cycle of the circadian rhythm. What is circadian rhythm? It is a natural internal clock of 24 hours and it regulates various bodily functions. It is also known as sleep-wake cycle of any animal. Then fourth is the space. We have to provide a species specific cage size. Like, for example, we have to give any any specific type of cage and specific size of the cage according to the size of the animal. For example, for mice, a minimum 180 centimeter square per area of the per animal should be there. Then fourth is the enrichment. The mandatory provision like nesting materials and gnawing sticks. This statement says that we have to mandatorily provide the nesting materials such as the husk inside the storage space of the animal and the gnawing sticks to chew and eat. Now let's see the comprehensive health management and veterinary care. For that, the first is the daily observation. The first point says that we have to monitor animal health and behavior for changes. We have to observe and monitor them daily so that any kind of behavior change is there so that we can observe it. And second is the veterinary access. We have to prompt, diagnose, and treatment by qualified vets. We have to give them the access of veterinary doctors so that a proper diagnosis and the treatment is done and it should be well qualified. Then third is the quarantine. The new animals undergo minimum 7 days isolation, which means when the new animals arrive in the laboratory, they have to go under a 7 day isolation so that they should not be in touch with the old animals to get contaminated. Then the fourth is the monitoring. We have to implement regular health checks and sentinel programs. We have to and monitor the regular health checkups of the animals. Then fifth is the biosecurity. We have to strict protocols for disease prevention and control. We have to maintain and create strict protocols which should be for the prevention of diseases and for the control of the diseases. Now let's see the nutritional requirement and water provisions. For that we have to firstly maintain the diet of the animal, which should be species specific. And we have to provide them a balanced diet. According to the species and size, we have to provide them appropriate diet, and it should be a balanced diet, which should contain all the types of nutrients. Then the access. We have to add libetium food and water. What is libetium food? Libetium food is the proper amount of food or any fully required food. It should be full of nutritional and it should complete the nutritional requirement of the animal. And a proper water supply should be there, which should be purified water. Then the quality. We have to provide a contaminant-free food and it should be properly stored so that the food should not get contaminated or degraded in the long time duration storage. Then we have to provide water, which should be fresh and purified water. Now let's see the trained personnel and ethical oversight. For that, we have to firstly see the competency. A staff trained in animal handling and husbandry and procedures. We have to recruit staff that should be well trained in the animal handling and should know the animal husbandry and the procedures of the experiments. Then the second, we have to see the IAEC. We know the IAEC is the Institutional Animal Ethics Committee, which gives the approval for the experiments, and it is very mandatory process because this committee ensures all the requirements that are required for the procedure and the experiment. And then we have to see the records. We have to maintain a detailed record of the animal acquisition, care, and use. And the fourth is the training part, which is the regular update on welfare guidelines and the best practices. We have to regularly update on welfare of the animal guidelines and the best practices. Now we have come to the conclusion of this video, which is the ethical imperative and scientific advancement. And the first is the holistic approach. The CCSEA ensures welfare, promoting sound science. The statement says that the CCSEA committee ensures the welfare of the animal and promotes sound science. The sound science means it ensures that the scientific information is accurate, reliable, and trustworthy. Then the second, we have to see the compliance. Adherence is crucial for ethical integrity and research validity. Adherence is the sticking to the crucial and the ethical integrity and the research validity. Now, and then we have to see the continuous improvement. Ongoing refinement benefits animal and sciences, which means then ongoing procedures and ongoing refinement of the things and the required things is very beneficial for the animal and for the science and the experiment. The quality of the experiment is increased. Then the shared responsibility. Researchers, institutions, oversight bodies collaborate, which means the researchers and the institutions come together and collaborate for the and take the responsibility of the experiment. Now let's see some more guidelines of the CCSEA. For that, first we will see the housing guidelines. For that, for the housing, we have to maintain the environment. The laboratory and animals should be placed in a house in a clean, well ventilated environment that mimics their natural habitat as closely as possible. This includes maintaining appropriate temperature, humidity, and lighting conditions. The statement says that the animals should be kept in a cleaned house and it should be well ventilated and it should mimic their natural habitat, such as and or as closely as possible. And this should maintain, and for that we have to maintain the temperature, humidity, and the lighting conditions of the environment. Then it's we have the caging, which means the cages should be spacious enough to allow for normal movement and behavior, and they should be made up of materials that are easy to clean and disinfect. Their design should be prevent escape and minimize injury. The cage should not injure the animal. Then the bedding. We have the suitable bedding materials usage such as wood shavings or paper-based products should be provided to absorb waste and offer comfort. Bedding should be changed regularly to maintain hygiene. It is a very crucial part to maintain hygiene of the animal. Then we have to see the nutrition part. For that, first is the diet. The animal should be provided with a balanced diet that meets their specific nutritional needs. This includes a mix of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, and vitamins. And then we have to supply water. The water should be fresh and clean and should be available at all times. And water bottles or automatic watering system should be checked daily to ensure they are functioning properly. And the water should be clean and hygienic. Then the feeding schedule. We have to regular feeding schedules should be established to ensure consistent nutrition and any changes in the diet should be introduced gradually to avoid digestive issues. Then we have to see the health monitoring. For that, we have to see regular checkups. Animals should undergo regular health checkups by trained personnel to monitor for signs of illness or distress. This includes checking for changes in weight, behavior, and physical condition. The regular health checkups is a very necessary part of the experiment so that the animal health is very much important for the quality of the experiment. Then we have to see the veterinary care. For that, access to veterinary care is essential for diagnosing and treating any health issues. Vaccinations and preventive treatment should be administered as needed. And the last for the health monitoring is the record keeping. You have to keep a detailed record of each animal's health and including any treatment or interventions should be maintained to track their well-being over time. Then we have to see the environment enrichment, in which the first is the physical enrichment, which providing objects such as tunnels, wheels, and climbing structures that can help stimulate physical activity and prevent boredom. This also affects the physical impact on the animal so that it should not get bored or should not be get lazy. Then the social enrichment. Social animals should be housed in groups to allow normal social interactions. However, care should be taken to prevent aggression and ensure compatibility. The meeting up of two animals is also very much necessary for their social interaction so that they does not feel lonely and it should be taken care to prevent aggression and ensure compatibility between the animals. Sensory enrichment. Introducing a new scents, sounds, and visual stimuli can keep animals engaged and reduce stress. This is a very important part. And then we have the handling and training. For that, firstly, we have to handle the animals with gentle. Animals should be handled gently with care to minimize stress and prevent injury. Proper technique should be used to ensure the safety of both the animals and the handler. A well-trained person should handle the animals so that to prevent any injury and minimize the stress on the animal. Then training. Training animals to cooperate with routine procedures such as weighing or health checkups can reduce stress and improve the efficiency of the care. If any animal faces these steps, they would go under a huge stress, which will affect the quality of the experiments. For that, we have to give a corporate. We have to make them cooperate with the routine procedures such as weighing and health checks, so that their stress can be reduced, and which will improve the efficiency of care. And at the last, we have to see the ethical consideration, which is the humane treatment. All animals should be treated humanely with respect for their well being, and this includes minimizing pain and distress during the experimental procedures. And then we have the compliance with guidelines. Adherence to institutional and governmental guidelines for the care and the use of laboratory animal is essential. This includes obtaining necessary approvals for experimental protocols and ensuring that all personnel are trained in animal care and handling, maintenance of laboratory animals as per CPCSEA guidelines. The statement says that sticking to the institutional and governmental guidelines and for the care and the use of laboratory animals is very much important and essential, and this includes necessary approvals for experimental protocols, ensuring that all personnel are trained in animal care and handling. The person should be well trained in animal care and handling and the maintenance of the laboratory animal as per the CCA guidelines. So now we have come to the end of this video. I hope you like this video. Thank you guys for watching this video, and for more such learning content, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our LinkedIn profile, on Instagram and on Facebook. We update and post daily weekly videos over these platforms. Thank you.